be reviewed after the anniversary.
Okay.
So if we can have this conversation next week, we shall see where you'll be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time I borrow this 500 bob, 25 bob is retained. And I'm told this one is my savings. Okay?
Yes.
Now you've said 2 billion shillings has been saved and 39.6 billion shillings has been borrowed. This is not commensurate with the 2%.
The 5%?
Yeah, it's not.
What is this? Just calculate.
Surely. Because how much is 25 bob out of 500?
It's 5%.
Okay. Is this 5% of 40?
Yeah.
Where does the money go? Where is my money?
The money is being held in
5 times 5 times.
That's 125.
your 125 shillings.
Yes.
So your 125 shillings is held in a separate account, custody account, that is invested for you.
Okay.
That money is available to you. Okay, let me take a step back. That's 25 shillings is divided into two. There's a 30% that is short term, and there is a 70% that is long term. By long term, we do not want you to be old without money. So we are helping you save for your retirement. So the 30% will be accessible as a short term saving, and it's something that again will be one of the celebrations that we'll be having. The 70% is going to be invested on your behalf, and you'll get a return closer to treasury bill rate. The governance structure around it, again, is good governance, and it's mimicking the Retirement Benefits Authority provisions of having separate service providers really looking at this money.
Can you remind us what was the original source of these funds for the Hustler Fund was what?
The first money on the 1st of December 2022.
That was available on the 1st of December. Where was that money from?
It was government grant. It's a government seeding the fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, the folks who've not paid, the numbers that you've given us, people who have not paid back their money. Okay, I don't know if that number came in there, but people who've not paid back. We saw the president having a conversation with somebody about, when he was going to pay his loan, whatever that was. What numbers are we looking at in terms of people who borrowed the money? I believe the initial amount was 500 and said, okay, we want to see if this thing works, and then never returned the money. What happens to them, or how is that working out?
So our repayment rate is about 72%, which by any means, especially on the digital platform, is a decent number. So now there are people, yes, who have borrowed and not repaid, and maybe not willing to pay. So you have to take a step back and ask yourself, how do you help these people? Remember, government is not in the business of punishing. So you have to look at these individuals and break them into two first. The person who is borrowing and I won't pay because I will not pay. How do you deal with that person? So the starting point is your initial starting point is not to punish. It's to entice and show them, why should I pay? Why should I repay this amount of money? And so there are a couple of incentives that then are coming that way. So if I pay my money, I get an increased limit, so the day I really need this money, I can be able to start to fight for hash and get the money. So that is one of the ways. So my credit limit is increased, my savings is increased, and as I repay also, the government is matching my savings. So if you remember the promise that the president gave when they launched the fund, for every 2 shillings you have saved in the fund, you get 1 shilling on your long-term fund. So that promise keeps people moving. So that is really the way to make people look at the benefits of repaying. And you nurture over time. But remember, we all have, let me now take a different perspective. We all have family members who are maybe addicted to drugs, for example. You don't take them straight to, you don't wake up one morning and say, these people are bad, so you're not part of my family. You have to walk them the journey. You are drinking too much, you have a talk, right? The second part, you take them to a therapist. The next time you take them to rehab. And then finally, when they're not, you don't give up on people, but at some point you're like, okay, just sort yourself. So I feel like what is going to happen is a journey. The government is trying to rehabilitate, nurture up to a certain point where by now you have to pay maybe using other means, but we are not yet there.
Okay.
So the means are, let's really entice people. Let's see how people are going. Why should they pay?
Okay.